smaller size. Now in the States, the styrene foam or styrofoam comes in 4x8 sheets. But here in Japan, the styrofoam comes in 3x6 is the standard because the people are smaller, and so they can handle a 3x6 sheet of foam easier than the American 4x8. And if you're in say a German hardware store, normally they sell smaller pieces of foam. Normally in a German hardware store, the foam would be about this high, maybe 3 feet by 2 feet. And mainly so the store people can handle it better. They can move it around, so you can get multiples of 3x4 or 3x2, 2x3 sheets in smaller pieces. They sell them in bundles. You don't necessarily get the large sheet. And of course, I think somewhere in the Home Depot, they also sell styrofoam in the larger sheets and in the smaller sheets. But whether it's in the larger sheets or smaller sheets, we realize the people in California and the people in Florida might go to a hardware store and get different type foams. But what we'll do is build the foam up to at least body height and about shoulder width. A little bit more than shoulder width, maybe a little bit more or less in body height. So we give a little leeway from the top of the nose to the top of the head, and we'll look at that again. And it could go up to about, maybe better say steady, just body height. Make the thing body height and about shoulder width. It don't have to be exact. You know, it don't have to be tailor-made, but somewhere in that general area. And we're going to start out with about 4 inches. We're going to start at about 4 inches. I don't know if you can see that one or not. About 4 inches thick. And 4 inches thick, you know, will give us just about that. So just about that is about 4 inches thick. It don't seem like it's that thick, but over a large period of time or a long area, it's enough. So this shoe right here will hold about 300 pounds. So you might not be 300 pounds heavy, but you might want to carry gear, you know, backpacks and this and that. And we are moving around on the shoes. The water shoes is a little bit different than a canoe or kayak. In a canoe, you sit in one place, and normally while you're in the water, you never move. You sit down and you never get up and move. You move the oars and this and that. You might twist around, but you don't stand up and walk to the front of the canoe, walk back to the back of the canoe. Same thing in a kayak. You're sitting in one position and you don't get up and walk around. But on the water shoes, we walk around, we move around, and we do some other things. So maybe we should start with a little nomenclature. And so first, the shoe is basically styrofoam, like we said. It's basically styrofoam. And then what we do, we have these foot plates. We have the foot plates, and we stand or sit or lay on the foot plates. In other words, the main part of our bodies is sitting or laying or resting on the foot plates. And then, of course, our legs can extend out or whatever. Now, I have the shoes separated a little bit. So first we have the pontoons. That's the styrofoam. And then the second part, we have the foot plates. We just call them foot plates for definition. And then we have this cross member, as in a kayak, and I think they call that an outrigger arm. Outrigger arm. So because the water shoes are akin to the canoe, because the water shoes are akin to the catamaran, most closely associated with the catamaran and raft, then we use those nomenclatures. So the catamaran is the closest to the water shoe, and in some cases it could even be called, the smaller catamaran can be called a water shoe, depending if it can be separated. If we take the outrigger arm out, now we can move the shoes independently of each other in a walking motion, and we're gonna take them apart real quick and show that.